girls, grab your beers.
Hey everybody, this is Charlie from Anthrax, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle.
This is Mark Metcalf, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle with Bailey on Domain Cleveland Radio.
You are listening to today's Boondoggle with Bailey on Domain Cleveland Radio. Yes, Kato Kalin listens to this all the time.
Welcome to today's Boondoggle. Now here's your host.
I am Monty Heep, so one Heep, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle.
Hey, what's up? It's John from Skillet, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle on Domain Cleveland Radio.
Fasten your seatbelts.
Sonic Temple Art and Music Festival returns to historic Cruise Stadium. Slipknot, Disturbed, Pantera, The Original Misfits, Evanescence, Limp Bizkit, Judas Priest, Stain, Breaking Benjamin, A Day to Remember, Falling in Reverse, Sleep Token, Rise Again, 311, Seether, Mudvayne, and many more. May 16th through the 19th, Columbus, Ohio. Tickets on sale now at SonicTempleFestival.com.
What's going on, everybody? It's Bill Bailey with today's Boondoggle. And real quick housekeeping note, if you're watching us on YouTube or Rumble or BitChute or Odyssey, please hit that follow and subscribe button. If you're listening to us on Spotify, Apple, Google, whatever podcast platform you utilize, please hit that follow and subscribe button so we can continue to bring you conversations like the one I'm bringing you today. I have the pleasure of talking with Nigel from the band Saxon. How are you doing, Nigel?
Good, man. Great. Glad to be on, Great.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you. I believe I've had you guys on in the past during one of the music festivals a few years back. Maybe it was like Rock on the Range or something.
Right.
Me and my buddy Dominic came on the bus and talked with you guys. But
yeah,
that was way before what we were talking about before we went on the air, when the world shut down and you decided to don a cowboy hat and boots and move to Dallas, right?
Yeah.
So real quick, usually when I have people on for the first time, I like to get a quick background. So do you remember originally what you wanted to be when you grew up?
Yeah, when I was oh, sorry, the dog's off. Oh, God. Yeah, I wanted to, when I was about 14, I wanted to be an animal doctor.
Oh yeah.
That was my big thing, but at the time you needed Latin for some reason.
Oh, wow.
I guess maybe because of some of the medicines or something. I don't know. And I mean, I was absolutely useless at Latin. I didn't see the point of learning some stupid language, So I didn't apply myself. I was a bit like that. And then when I was 16, I think it was, or 17, we had like a sort of cadet force thing at my school, right? And we had an armory at school. I think this was sort of maybe over from the war or whatever, maybe training youngsters to be ready for something. I don't know, but and then so I was in the naval section, and I went down to a Fleet Air Arm land base, our naval air service sort of thing. Went down to a land base, sat in a jet fighter, and I thought, oh yeah, this is me, Yeah. So I actually applied to join the Fleet Air Arm, but of course they needed top marks in my worst two subjects, which was math and physics.
They didn't need Latin though, right?
No, they didn't need damn Latin. I think that would have been easier actually, but it was those other two, and I was like, forget it, bye.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I ended up serving in the Navy on an aircraft carrier, working on F-14s and stuff when I got out of high school. So, but that's cool that was part of your curriculum when you were going to school back then.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You had to do sort of 3 years in this cadet force. We had every Monday was like parade. You had to all your gear had to be clean ironed and. everything, all the whites, all the white gaiters and belts had to be, and the brass polish. Oh, everything, had to be perfect.
Yeah. Nice. And then what was it that like music ended up, catching your ear and something that you decided to pursue?
It was just actually, funnily enough, I started playing drums when I was about 7 or 8. And then I found when I was listening to a lot of records at the time, I was listening to the bass. So I sort of broke my heart. I had to sell my train set and bought a bass guitar. And then, so I did that. And then when I was at school, we had like a sort of a block of music rooms, and someone had left a drum kit in there. And I used to go and sneak in there and play on their kit. And I thought, no, this is it. So we had a school band, the usual thing.
Oh, yeah.
And we used to go around playing, youth clubs and the usual stuff, So I was always playing.
Nice.
And
who were some of your early influences back then?
Oh, God. Considering I started so early, I was listening to sort of Keith Moon. Everyone that was around at the time, I guess. The first one, as I said, when I started when I was about 7 or 8, was Tony Meehan and Brian Bennett. These guys were like in this, basically the English version of the Ventures. And so those guys, and then I was listening to people that were playing on records and stuff, Clem Catini, and who were the big session guys at the time. Just got into that, and it just went on. And then I'm trying to think. Then of course I sort of got into Cream and Hendrix. So that kind of, and Mitch Mitchell was I used to love listening to Mitch Mitchell. And Ginger, but I always wondered how Mitch Mitchell would fit, how he would sound with Cream, because I just loved his sound,
Yeah.
And then later, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, and then later on, and then I think the first band I went absolutely mad on was Grand Funk. The original 3-piece.
Nice.
And that was the first gig I ever went to, which was when was that? 71, I think, in free gig in Hyde Park in London.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and supporting them was Humble Pie, and
wow.
and Peter Frampton was still the lead guitarist then, and that was it was after that gig they brought out the Live at Rockin' the Fillmore,
Oh wow, yeah. And then you said that.
Sorry, go on.
You said that you played like in some of the youth groups with some of your classmates and stuff. When was it? You got inspired and went to those shows. When was it where you guys started getting in, like, kind of playing more serious and forming joining?
Well, no, at school, we were, obviously we were just sort of doing covers. We were playing like Jethro Tull stuff. And Cream and just all. And then later, after I left school, then I was still in sort of local bands, and we started writing our own stuff. But it was like, then of course, by that time, bands like, although backtracking a bit, but bands like King Crimson were happening. We were really getting into bands like King Crimson. I always remember sort of listening to Lark's Tongues in Aspic, and that first bashing when it piles in, and so we just started listening to that stuff, and just playing in pubs and whatever. And then, funnily enough, a band I was in, we used to play quite regularly. And we decided to split up though, and we were in this pub, and this guy came over to me and he said, "Are you Nigel Glockler?" I went, "Yeah." And he said, "There's a guy at the bar wants to speak to you." So I went over there, and that was my first. I ended up turning pro because that was my first pro band, which was a band called Krakatoa, which was based in my hometown, Brighton, in England. and so went on the road with them.
Oh, nice.
And that's how it started. We end up actually having Hans Zimmer as our keyboard player, you know, the guy that does all the movie soundtracks.
Oh, wow, that's incredible. Nice.
Yeah, so we did that, and then and I mean, the guitarist is still one of my best friends, and I still write with him today, Roger Adams, and then from there we that was during the sort of the new wave thing exploded. We were places, actually, we were a bit like Kansas, writing long pieces and stuff. But there was also a lot of funk in there. But, you know, the new wave thing hit, we couldn't get a record deal. So in the end, even though we were selling out sort of town hall gigs, but we didn't have a record deal. Couldn't get a record deal, couldn't get arrested. So we split up in the end, you know, and I started doing sessions, and then from there I went into Toyah. And then from Toyah, I went to Saxon, because funnily enough, the bass player in Krakatoa was managing Saxon.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask you, like how that came together for you with Saxon.
It was like I got rung up on days managing. The managers rang me up and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "You know what I'm doing," which was in this band Toyah, who were really big at them. And he said, "Yeah, but what are you doing now?" And I actually said, "Well, I'm just about to have Sunday lunch with my parents, actually." He said, "Well, Saxon have got a tour starting on Wednesday. This is Sunday. And Pete Gill's injured his hand. And would you come up and stand in?" So I said, "Yeah, I'm going to eat my dinner first." And then I drove up to London, went up to the north of London where they were rehearsing. We had a blast, and the rest is history. But the stupid thing was I bought tickets to go and see that first gig, which was in my hometown. Because I was a Saxon fan.
Yeah, nice. And then you got to, you know, you end up getting to play with them. You have a nice long relationship with them. But I had read also that there was a point in your career that you were kind of forced to retire due to neck injuries.
That was I think that was one. I'm trying to think when that was. 97, I think it was. Yeah, I ripped a muscle between my neck and my shoulder. So the doctor said, you know, I've got to stop playing for about 3-4 months to let it heal. So that's how that came about. And then what happened was they had one drummer for a while, and then they got this German drummer in, Fritz Randau, and I mean, I was still writing with Saxon, right? I mean, I was still, you know, going up there, and when they were rehearsing for an album or whatever, but I just wasn't doing the touring. But you know, they kept saying, "Oh, come back," but I didn't think it was fair to oust Fritz because he just settled into the drum store, and I didn't think that was fair. So I just kept on doing sessions and stuff, you know.
But then, you know, after like rehabbing and everything, you were back to playing like.
Yeah, I kind of equate it to, like, you know, Saxon's like a little spider, you know, like a spider's web, and they sort of pull you in, you know. So eventually I got pulled back into the web.
Yeah, like they say, the mob or whatever, right? You know, you think you're out,
yeah,
pull you back in.
That's it. Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
And during your time with them too, you got to play some of the biggest festivals over there as well, like the Monsters of Rock, which is like infamous. What was that experience like for you?
Oh, I mean, they played the first one, I think, the Donington one. It was 80, I think it was, and then we got asked to play the second one, which was in 82, and it was chaos because, I mean, we were touring at that time. We were on the road over here with Rainbow. So we played in Dallas, got a flight the next morning back to England, back to Gatwick, I think it was. Then then got a private plane up to Donington, played there the next day, and then we flew back to New York and headlined the Palladium, and then flew back to the UK again. It was mad. It was absolutely mad. It's like we didn't have a chance to get jet lagged.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, it was
up in time zones.
Yeah, exactly. That was a great gig. But I mean, the other one we love playing is Wacken, which is the big heavy rock festival, near Hamburg, and that's like 75,000 people there. That's like mega. I actually find personally, people go, "Oh my God, 75,000 people! How do you feel?" I mean, I just find it an incredible buzz. I actually get more nervous about playing in a pub if I'm jamming with some friends because people are right in front of your face.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
And then usually I've been to a lot of those, but I mean, nothing is as big as that festival, but I've been to some of the festivals here in the States, and I'm 14 years sober now, but I remember the days where you'd spend all that money to be at those festivals and then you don't remember half of it,
Brilliant.
So it's like, yeah, but like you said, if you're in the small intimate settings, more people are likely to see,
Oh yeah, and they've got microscopes on you. It's like, oh my God, and there's someone like 6 foot away or 10 feet away from you. It's like, oh my God, Yeah,
and the sad thing is now they all got their phones out, so everything's being recorded. So
yeah. Something happens, that's on there forever.
Yeah, exactly. So I could see why that would make you more nervous these days. And then there's just like so much. I was reading about the metal history that Saxon has been a part of over there in Europe and in the States. And it's like we could basically do like a mini series of podcast interviews to go over all those. But I know we don't have that time today. And I want to make sure that
any time you want, just let me know and I'll come on. No problem.
Oh, yeah. I would love to have you back on for sure.
Yeah, it'd be great.
But I know if I don't talk about the current release that just came out, I'll be in trouble and I might not be able to get you back. So I want to talk a little bit about Hell, Fire and Damnation.
Yeah.
At first when I was reading the album title, I was like, oh, it sounds like Saxon's putting out a gospel record or something. I don't know.
Or a death metal one or something, yeah.
Yeah. But what was the inspiration for that name, for the title?
Well, I mean, it's a sort of thing that's been going on. It's like the battle between good and evil. It's been raging in people's heads and in forever. And no, it was just something Biff came up with. But whenever we sort of write songs and everything, or get demos together, something might inspire Biff, give him a certain lean towards a certain subject matter or something because of how the riff is, or he might have, or it might be the other way around. He's got an idea for that, so we might write something to title he's got. So there's no set thing. We just get together and demos get piled in, ideas get piled in, and we work on them, and that's what comes out,
Well, as I was listening to it, I mean, once again, it's like, classic Saxon, but I love, how you were saying when Biff kind of gets onto a subject matter he likes to tackle. I really enjoyed There's Something in Roswell.
Yeah,
because it seems like that's been a topic of discussion for years,
Sure.
that everybody wanted to there's nothing going on, it's just weather balloons or whatever. Now we're in a time period where it's like, there's stuff out there, and it seems like the population's kind of just like, oh well.
Yeah. I mean, there's a thing down. I can't remember the name. It always annoys me. I can't remember. There's somewhere in Texas where there are these lights. And
Okay.
I can't remember what they're called.
I remember there was some in Arizona too. The Phoenix Lights. There was like a documentary on them, but
yeah, I think this one's in Texas. I may be wrong. I'm not sure, but there's certainly these sort of lights are meant to be hovering in the sky, and it's like I'd like to go and see it. You have to Google it. I can't remember what it's called, but
yeah.
Hey, but yeah, I find it funny that suddenly all these sort of camera footage from Navy jets and stuff suddenly got these things like whizzing all over the place, whereas a few years ago, oh no.
Yeah, nothing to see here. I mean, just how jaded have we become as
I know. I mean, it's almost like the Area 51. Is there a spaceship in there or something?
yeah, exactly. But what I find is, I mean, you've had all these. I don't know. I'm a big conspiracy buff guy myself. I've gone down many rabbit holes.
Right.
Some of my other shows. We tackle some of those topics. And I grew up X-Files fan, stuff like that. And
sure.
The UFO thing's always been very intriguing, but and there's so many dedicated people, that have these conventions and swear by it. But now that they're finally disclosures finally coming out, it seems like the general population is just we're so desensitized the past several years after, it seems like after 2020 and everything, everybody's got so much other things to focus on, but I like that Biff's bringing it back in in his writing.
Yeah, I mean, who's to say? Why should we be the only beings in the universe?
Oh yeah, exactly.
And then you see all this stuff with the was it the Mayans and stuff there? I think it's the Mayans, with their big, from space you can see they've done a big carving of an eagle somewhere or something that looks like a spaceship or something. So there's obviously something going on.
Oh yeah, and for that history, I got Wright-Patterson Air Force Base here in Ohio that I've been down to, where supposedly they have a UFO in one of their top secret hangars or whatever.
Right.
But
no one's ever gone in it yet.
No, and as you mentioned, with the the carvings and the Mayans and stuff like that. I mean, there's just there's way too much stuff that's been documented that is kind of you can't explain. Now is it just, I don't know. The truth is out there, as Mulder or whatever used to say, though, right?
Yeah.
And then I see you guys are hitting the road with Uriah Heep. I'm pretty excited about that because there's a Cleveland stop, so I'll definitely be coming out to see you guys.
Cool. Brilliant.
May 11th. You'll be playing the Temple Live venue here in Cleveland, and it's an amazing venue. Let me tell you, talk about conspiracies and everything. It's the Cleveland Masonic Auditorium. So that's a whole nother rabbit hole, but there's a lot of history.
That's another rabbit hole. Yeah.
Yeah. But there's a lot of history in that building, and the sound and what they've done with the upgrades and everything. I think you're going to enjoy playing there very much. And I'm definitely going to enjoy seeing you guys when you come to town.
No, brilliant. Excellent. Now you'll have to email me, get an email off Serena.
Okay.
Silver Lining, email me and mail me, sort of nearer the date, and maybe we can meet up. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Definitely.
But yeah, we're really looking forward to that tour. Should be great. Yeah,
and then I see there's I forget, what was it, a festival that you're going to be playing with them and Judas Priest before the tour, or is that during the tour?
We're actually, I head over to the UK at the beginning of March. We're actually doing an arena tour with Priest, doing a whole tour of the UK and some gigs in Europe, and Heep are the opening act on that, and then we come over here with Heep. And then I go back to Europe again for its festival season. And I think we're doing some more shows with Judas Priest, I think in July, June or July.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And then you know, the new albums, you know, just came out. You guys are going to be playing a lot of tracks off of that live for the audience on the tour and support. Is there one in particular you're looking forward to playing the most?
Yeah, I mean, the track I love is Madame Guillotine.
No, nice.
I love that because it's great. I love that track, you know. But no, any of them. And you know, we've still got to sort out a set list. I mean, the thing is with tour over here, it's going to be, you know, it's a co-headline tour with Heep. So obviously some places where they're more popular, they'll close. Other places where we're more popular, we'll close. But both bands are going to have the same amount of playing time. So, and as far as I know, there's no opening band. So it's like an evening with Heep and Saxon. So, yeah, I mean, there's your new album in there.
Nice.
Play, yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. And, you know, I'm trying to be cognizant of your time, but I would definitely love to set something up where I could get you back on another time down the line. But
yeah, definitely. Just ask Serena anytime.
Meeting up with you. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And definitely look forward to meeting up with you in Cleveland.
Have a word with Serena anytime. I'll come on anytime. I enjoy it.
Awesome. Great. Sounds good. Yeah, there's so much more.
Maybe we can go down some rabbit holes.
Yeah, I'm always down for that. Are you familiar with G. Edward Griffin? No. He's wrote the book the Jekyll Island, about Jekyll Island, the creature from Jekyll Island, about the Federal Reserve and the banking systems and stuff. And he also did this infamous interview with a KGB defector that predicted how you would infiltrate a country and destroy it from within and stuff. I've had him on the podcast, so those are the type of rabbit holes I enjoy going down.
That's a deep one, that one. Oh God.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Nigel, I appreciate your time. If you got a couple minutes, I'd like to ask you a couple questions I normally ask really quick.
Okay.
3 people who've inspired you and you can credit for making you the person you are today.
Oh God. Inspired me. Well, I guess my mother and father for a start. You know, and my brother, you know, my family, I guess, you know, as a person. Yeah.
And then are there any causes or organizations that you support and encourage others to check out?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big sort of, I love all, you know, animal sanctuaries and stuff like that. Gina, my wife, she works for this company that does beauty products, but they're on the side, their main thing, they have an animal sanctuary there, and they've got donkeys and horses and goats and sheep and stuff. And you know, I've got a couple of favorite donkeys down there. I think it's, what's his name? Teddy, who's a recent thing. So me and Teddy get on great. But no, anything like that. I just hate people that abuse animals, you know.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And then for the audience members that are watching and want to pick up the new album or follow Saxon for tour dates and releases and stuff, where would you send them?
We've got our website, saxon747.com. All the tour dates are on there. There's a load of stuff on there, pictures. I mean, obviously there's Facebook and stuff. So any of our social media, you'll find stuff out. And just get that album.
Yeah. Awesome.
And we're really looking forward to playing over here. It'd be great.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it, and I will definitely be hitting up Serena and stuff to connect with you when when you come over this way.
Yeah, that'd be great. But as I say, anytime you want me on, just shoot me an email or Serena, and boom, we'll do it.
Awesome. Sounds good, Nigel. Can I ask you one last favor before I let you go?
Okay.
You mind cutting a promo ID for the show? Just introduce yourself, and you're listening to today's Boondoggle.
You ready?
Yeah.
Hi, this is Nigel from Saxon, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle. It's a wow.
Awesome. Nigel, thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking with you, and I look forward to doing more of this in the future.
Brilliant. All right, Bill, you can, man.
Take care.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.